Hello. Spend a lot of time trying to get you to live in an aging person's world for a moment to see things from their eyes. And I absolutely want you to do that. I absolutely believe that empathy comes from walking a day in someone else's shoes and seeing it from the position of they're in. What I'm asking you to do today is see it maybe even a little bit different, just a little different step. And that is, I want you to see it from the way you view your children. Our society now recognizes neurodiversity. They recognize that not everyone's brain develops the same, and there are things that trigger us into frustration or being overstimulated, and there are things that cause us to get frustrated. And so we recognize it in our young people. We recognize it in our really young adults, our teenagers, our younger people. We're really starting to see this and give it a name and give it credence and give it understanding. Then when we get into maybe our 30-year-olds, we haven't really recognized it, but they're starting to see themselves through their children. And they're starting to recognize that, wait a minute, this behavior in me being upset right now is because I'm overstimulated. So they're starting to see that. Now, I'm asking the group that's now starting to see it in your parents. Because neurodiversity, while the term didn't come out until the late 90s, it wasn't recognized, it wasn't looked at in research that our brains all develop differently, and that some people are ADD and ADHD and OCD and anxieties exist. It wasn't really addressed. It doesn't mean it didn't exist. It means that my age group was called hostile. My age group was belligerent. My age group had outburst. We got angry. And those are the things that people saw, but what they didn't see was the cause. So I know myself, when I would be in a kitchen, if I had a vent fan on, and Lord knows I tried never to use one because they irritate me. I am ADD beyond belief, but I didn't know that then. If I had that on and my kids were being rambunctious and the television was playing and the dog was barking and all of these things were going on, I quickly could get overstimulated. And all I knew was to stop the stimulation. And how do I do that? But I yell at my kids to be quiet. And so I spent a lot of time correcting my children when, had I recognized what was the cause, my children wouldn't have gotten that wrath. They wouldn't have gotten that frustration. So we see a lot of times where I hear from people, why would I take care of them when all they did was yell at me? Why would I take care of them when they didn't do their part? And I'm telling you, maybe they didn't know how to do it any different. Maybe they did the best they could do under the circumstances. I know I did. I would have never intentionally done wrong by my children, but I did a lot of wrong. And I now see through the eyes of my grandchildren that, wow, I really had a lot of issues that were never addressed. And so I think that we need to start giving grace and start looking at our aging, not that they're hostile, not that they're grumpy, not that they're combative, but maybe they're overstimulated. Maybe you're being a helicopter caregiver and you're up in their grill. Maybe the vent fan's going and they can't articulate or tell you that that vent fan is driving them nuts. Maybe you're playing music that has a guitar solo and, oh my goodness, that's just irritated them to no end. Maybe it's the environment and the environment that we're creating unknowingly that is causing some of the hostility and some of the aggravation and the anxiety. If it does it for your kids, then think about what it's doing to your parents. Think about what it's doing to yourself. Thank you.